Welcome to Beating Cancer Daily. Beating stage 4 cancer for 30 years still takes my breath away every time I say it. I'm Saranne, founder of the Comedy Cures Foundation, and I hope you'll join me for just a few minutes daily for the next 365 days so we may laugh, learn, maybe cry a little as we live our best days beating cancer daily together. So everybody's talking about the gut-brain axis, and I'm just curious. Do you know what they're talking about? Well, we're going to find out because that person laughing in the background is Jacqui Bryan. And I bet you've heard several of her probably 70 episodes of the hundreds of episodes of Beating Cancer Daily because she keeps coming back. I think she likes us. She keeps coming back. And I'm so happy to have you here, Jacqui. Jacqui is our certified nutrition specialist, functional medicine expert, whole health educator, certified health coach, RN, FNLP. So talented. And we get her again. Jacqui, welcome.
Thank you so much, Saranne. It's so wonderful to be here. And I love you too. Thank you. This has been such a great experience being a part of, I think 70 episodes with you.
Yeah, there's so many. And the other part that if you've never heard any of these episodes before, we have over 50 years of combined survivorship, which I'm curious how we did that since we're just in our 20s, but in our minds.
I'm coming up on 22 years as a survivor. And it's my husband and I were talking about that the other day. I was diagnosed when I was 37. So now everybody can do the math and figure it out. I'm getting close to 60.
We're having a birthday party. She doesn't know what it is, but we're having a birthday party.
We're having a party. But, I am so grateful to be here, to be a part of this community and giving back and sharing some of the things that helped me. I think one of the reasons I wanted to talk about this gut-brain axis is because I think it's confusing. And we talk about, anywhere you go online now, it's like, oh, gut health is where it's at. And you got to pay attention to gut health. And gut health is so important. But why? What is it about that? And you and I have done Health Builder series where, we talk about gut health. I think we've done a podcast on poop. We've done all different things to talk about the gut, but the gut-brain axis is something that is a mystery to so many people. And I thought it would be fun for us to talk about.
I think it's super important, especially if you're going through cancer or you've gone through cancer treatment, because a lot of the treatments can wreck our gut and play tricks on our brain. I mean, we've done episodes on chemo brain before. So to just really learn what we could be doing and empowering ourselves, I'm just so glad that you want to talk about this.
Yeah. And I think that's why it's important to kind of understand what it is. But so the gut-brain axis is actually this really complex communication network that really links your digestive system, which is your gut, and your central nervous system. It links the two of them together, which is your brain, right? The brain, we know, can critically think. It can balance a checkbook. The gut has just as many nerves and neurons and everything in there, except it just does not balance a checkbook, right? It doesn't have as many ability to do that, but it's equally as important. If you imagine it as this kind of two-way street where the signals are constantly exchanged and they impact everything from your digestion to your immune health, your mood, even your stress levels. And one of the things that the scientists have discovered is that it's not just about digestion, but it plays a significant role in mental health and physical health. And when I work with some of my individuals that might be struggling with some mental health issues, we actually talk a lot about the vagus nerve. And the vagus nerve is the largest nerve that goes from your brain down into your gut. And we talk about vagus nerve exercises because that has been found to be very healing for not only mental health issues, but for the brain and for the gut as well.
Well, I was going to say, if I said to you, how do you make a decision? Are you a gut person? Do you just go off your gut, or do you think and you go from your brain? Which one do you do?
I think I do both, but I am the person that, if there was a test coming up, I'd get a stomach ache. If I got nervous about something, actually, it's funny. Well, I probably shouldn't share this.
It's okay.
My husband, like if I get gassy, my husband goes, "What are you stressed about?"
I was just going to say, well, we now know you fart in front of your husband. I do not fart in front of Mark. I have not done that in our many years of marriage. I just I don't know. I just don't do it. I don't know if I don't do it a lot. And so I could get away with not doing it the few times. But that's funny to know, like 2
Keep
marriages.
in mind, I'm not walking around trying to pass gas in front of him. I'm not sitting there and really forcing it out. It just sort of happens if I'm stressed, right? So I just shared something very secret with you, Sarah, and now you're working it.
Me and people in 99 countries, just so you remember that. And just so you know, like, I love because people will approach me in hospitals or after I give a talk, and I know somebody's going to come up and go, "That made me laugh so much when you and Jacqui were talking about farting."
Oh my gosh. Well, listen, the fascinating part of this connection, this gut-brain axis, I'm getting off the farting topic. Okay? Did you like that transition? I'm getting off of this.
I thought you were going to say, listen to the poop episode. It's really good.
But I think the fascinating part about the connection with this gut-brain axis is that the gut microbiome, which is that community of bacteria that's actually in our gut, lives in our intestines. These microbes actually help us, right? That we've talked about their influence with our immune system. They help with digesting food. They produce vitamins. They release chemicals that actually influence how we feel. And so it makes sense that we want to take care of our gut and our brain to help our body's natural balance and healing. And if you're in treatment for cancer, or if you love someone that's in treatment for cancer, we want to do everything that we can to not only help them achieve balance, because it's really hard to find balance when you're in treatment. It just feels like you're getting hit from so many different angles. So I think that really understanding how the gut-brain axis works can be beneficial.
I don't know. There must be a lot of humor about this. My brain is working 90 miles per hour, not about farting, but about the gut brain axis.
I know I'm never living this down for some reason.
But I just remember when this was not talked about.
No, it's newer research and science. It's not that they were hiding anything from us, right? It's just something that I think they started exploring more about the connection between the gut and the brain. I mean, if you think about how it works, the gut and brain are directly connected with that vagus nerve, as I was mentioning. And that's like a major highway that allows messages to travel back and forth between the brain and the gut. I think that's just so cool. And the communication channels that happen are even beyond that vagus nerve, right? So the gut and brain also communicate through other pathways. It's not just the vagus nerve. They communicate through the immune system that helps manage inflammation and can respond to health threats. And as a cancer survivor, myself and you and our community that we serve, this is important. We need to pay attention to it. And they also communicate through hormones. I just think this is amazing. I mean, you are a miraculous machine. Not just you, Saranne, but everybody, right? You're an extraordinary miraculous machine, but you're a miraculous machine. And the hormones that they communicate with help regulate growth, stress response, and energy levels. And then there's neurotransmitters that are these special chemicals that manage our mood, our sleep, and our digestion. I mean, I think that's pretty amazing.
I do, but Jacqui, I'm laughing so hard because there are so many cartoons about this gut brain connection. And there's one where the brain and the gut are playing chess. And the gut says to the brain, "Gutsy move for a brain."
That's very cute.
It's so cute. I think I'm going to keep them coming because
I love it. I love it.
You need to put that in your next talk. It is so cute. I wish I knew who drew that.
That is adorable. The enteric nervous system, again, I'm getting us back on track here. The enteric nervous system is what we're talking about when we talk about the gut, and it is really considered the second brain, right? So you've got your first brain, which is in your head, but then you've got the second brain, which is in your gut. And the gut has really its own nervous system, and that's what we call that enteric nervous system. And we call it the second brain for a reason, because it works mostly on its own to manage digestion and other gut activities, and it doesn't need a lot of direction from the brain. It is influenced by emotions and stress. Again, going back to Jacqui gets stressed and gassy at the same time, right? So it is influenced by that. Stress can lead to an upset stomach. I'm an excellent example of that. With Saranne, she just runs in the other room so no one can detect any gut issues. But digestive issues, so we probably intuitively know when I get stressed, it can upset my gut, but we might not realize or think about the fact that when you have digestive issues, it can actually influence your mood, making you feel anxious or irritable. And I have a gastroenterologist friend of mine who says that people that have irritable bowel syndrome are the grumpiest group of people he's ever worked with, right? And it makes sense, right? They have irritable bowel. It's a pissed off bowel. And so it's something that, will directly affect your mood. So if you do struggle with mood issues, then it would make sense to really pay attention to the health and the shape of your gut. I mean, it's just, there is this very intimate connection between these two systems.
It's so interesting because going back to this idea, okay, so everybody thought you're having anxiety, you're having depression. Let's treat the brain. We've got to give you medicine for the brain, and we have to talk therapy and all these different things. But people really didn't think about the gastro issues that could be emotional. It was just, yeah, you had some spicy food or you didn't chew your food well enough. But to think that these emotions could also be connected, that the nervous system is down there operating. But I'm a gut stomach person. I operate from my gut. When I feel something, I go with it. I don't wait till it gets up to my brain. I trust my gut. It served me well.
But I also think it's because you're a deep feeling person. I'm a very deep feeling person, which is probably why I had some gut issues as a young person, because when you are emotional and you have a lot of emotions, that is going to have an impact on your gut. I mean, if you think about the role of your gut microbiome, that microbiome or bacteria is made up of trillions of bacteria that live in our intestines, and they have a big role in not only our immune system, but our moods and our health. The intestines actually produce a short chain fatty acid that support gut health and energy, right? So that bacteria, when you give it the right type of food, produces this short chain fatty acid that is like butyrate, that is beneficial for overall health. It can be the microbiome can be beneficial for making neurotransmitters like serotonin, which is your calming and mood stabilizing hormone. We also know that it helps with stress management, and that the microbiome also release other helpful compounds that can travel in the blood and affect how the brain works, right? So it's that very intimate connection. So my hope is that sharing these main points as to why and how the gut-brain axis works, my hope is that you're sitting there saying, okay, what can I do? Like, how can I help my gut-brain axis?
I am thinking that, and I'm thinking I'm going to sound really smart at this party that I'm going to tomorrow night with a bunch of strangers, because I'm going to figure out how to weave into any conversation about this, because you just given me some big words about my nervous system. I'm going to be really popular. Everybody's going to be hanging on every word now.
It's hard to imagine you more popular than you already are, but I think that's great. So how do we make nutrition work for our gut-brain axis? Like, how does nutrition affect the gut-brain axis? So, and I'm a food first person. And so I will tell you that the foods that we eat strongly influence the gut microbiome, that bacteria, and its connection to the brain. Everything we put in our mouth matters. So certain nutrients are going to promote the growth of that beneficial bacteria we were talking about, and others can disrupt it. the microbiome stability. And that would be things like sugars and processed foods and things like that. So we need to make maintaining the balance of this bacteria crucial, right? We really have to keep it balanced so that we can produce the short chain fatty acids and the neurotransmitters that are going to play a key role in our brain, our gut health, our mood, our sleep, all of these. So,
but then they throw things like antibiotics at us, Jacqui, and that wreaks havoc. So
it does. If you've got a bacterial infection and your doctor requires you to take an antibiotic, you have to take that. But there are ways to support your body when you are taking an antibiotic. And that's something that, I think we've covered in some other topics before, but, getting approval from your doctor to take a good probiotic spaced, at least an hour, 2 hours away from taking the antibiotic can help preserve some of that bacteria that can be hurt by the antibiotic, or just eating fermented foods, right? And those are things like kefirs and yogurts and kombuchas and sauerkraut and, kimchi and all of those. But
somebody actually said that to me at a party. They were like, what's that thing that Jacqui says that we should have? She's like, it's pickled or it's what they were trying to remember. They were like, I have it on my list to start integrating into my system. And I was like, kimchi, kombucha, is that what you're talking about? And they were like, yeah. Oh, fermented.
yes.
Because they were like, is it pickled? What is that Jacqui says we have to do?
And then I get those wonderful clients of mine, they're all wonderful, but they're like, well, wine's fermented, Jacqui. Can I have more wine? But I will say that some of the key nutrients that are really beneficial for this gut-brain axis are things like fiber. In fact, in my membership, I am making a whole month. The month of February is going to be focused just on fiber. And fiber is found in fruits and vegetables, whole grains, nuts and seeds, things like that. But fiber really acts as a food for that beneficial bacteria, helping them grow. So if you imagine the bacteria is the seed and the fiber or the prebiotics are going to be the food for the bacteria. So that's going to be really helpful. Another key nutrient for the gut-brain axis is the omega-3 fatty acids. And omega-3s, are found in our fatty fish, our salmon and our mackerel, our sardines, but it's also found in flax seeds and walnuts. And these have an anti-inflammatory property that can support not only the gut, but brain health. I love the idea of omega-3 fatty acids for sure for individuals.
I had my sardines today for lunch.
Girl.
And I thought of you. And I ate those bones. Remember when I used to pick them out before you told me that I should eat the bones? I used to pick out these microscopic bones.
Well, they're good for your bones. They're good for calcium when you're eating those bones. But I can honestly say I don't think I've ever had anyone tell me they think of me when they're eating sardines.
I think of you. And I can't think of you.
No, I'm not really sure how to take it.
I go in the kitchen. I hear your voice in every direction. Just
scary.
Now, because I was rushing to come and I was standing up. And I was like, Jacqui said, never stand up when you eat. And I sat right down on a stool.
Sit down. Oh, gosh. Another key nutrient for the gut-brain axis is probiotics. And we just talked about that. And those are things like yogurt, kefir, sauerkraut, kimchi, or fermented foods. These foods actually have live bacteria that add beneficial strains to the gut and the microbiome. So it's supportive the bacteria you already have in there. And then there's polyphenols. And Saranne, you're going to be so happy about this because these are the compounds that are in berries, and tea, and dark chocolate. I knew you'd be happy with that. And they feed the bacteria in the gut, reduce inflammation, and really support that gut-brain axis. And so I like to think of these foods as really mainstays in my diet. Like I get these probably every day. I do take an omega-3 supplement just in case I don't get fish in every day, but I get everything else in. But I eat a fatty fish at least twice a week for sure.
Do you do anything or think anything about the exercises to stimulate the vagus nerve? Does that help?
Yeah, there are exercises and I do that with some of my individuals that are struggling with some mental health challenges as well. But doing vagus nerve exercises can be really beneficial in terms of just exercising the vagus nerve and really dialing into it. And these are things like humming and gargling and even, even meditating, right? And, at the end of yoga, that, how they go,
Yeah.
do it
I
with
do
me,
that when
Sarah.
I'm
Ready?
eating chocolate. I'm
Up,
eating chocolate.
right. You're actually stimulating your vagus nerve there. If you're gargling, if you're just gargling, that's actually stimulating the vagus nerve. There's other exercises that you can do. You can find them online.
I know cold showers because that's one of the reasons why I take cold showers and some exercise and massage. What about the ear things? Have you read anything about that? Like different pressing of the ears?
No, there's so many different exercises that you can do to stimulate the vagus nerve. What I will say is that I listen to my clients. I like to hear what their lifestyle is like, and then I try to figure out what we can integrate into their life in an easy way that it's going to be doable, right? Because if I tell them to do an ear exercise and they're not into it, that's fine. But people can, I love humming. They can make it a part of their, routine in the morning, gargling, with something when they're brushing their teeth, all of those. But there's different ways that you can do it. And I do think it is worth giving a try for sure.
I love that we went from the brain to the gut to food to cold showers to yoga to humming to gargling. All in, I mean, it just shows how connected we are. You are a whole being. You are a
It,
whole being.
you are a whole being. I love this, Saranne. I think you know how passionate I am about what I do. And it's particularly of interest to me because I am a Western medicine trained practitioner, right? I learned every body system. I was a critical care nurse. My grandfather was a surgeon. My mom's a nurse. We have all this Western medicine background, but which I am alive today because of it. I have great appreciation and respect for it. But what I like to do is I like to connect the dots between, what my lifestyle is like and what potentially it could be doing to my body, right? In hopefully a positive way. And sometimes it takes an individual outside of your life to say, oh, did you realize that maybe that apple you're having at 10 o'clock at night is, causing an imbalance in your blood sugar. And maybe that's why you're not sleeping, right? Sometimes it just takes another person to see those things, right? And so I think this topic of the gut brain axis is so important because it is about your whole body health, not only your mental health, but your gut health, but your whole immune health, which keeps you safe and protected. As a cancer survivor, this is critical for us all to think about. And so getting more fiber in, getting probiotic rich foods, reducing sugar and processed foods, staying hydrated. I didn't spend a lot of time on that, but you need to drink enough water because it really aids in digestion and it supports the bacteria, but also exercising regularly. I mean, we have to be able to move our body. We are designed to be not sedentary. We need to be moving our body. And, I love activity and I think it's so important. And then the last is really managing stress, right? Stress is one of the biggest culprits in shutting the gut down. And we want to be able to manage stress through, something like meditation or yoga, some sort of a routine that you can bring into your life that will help you keep stress a little bit low. Now there are many things that we can't control when it comes to stress. So for example, a cancer diagnosis, I always thought it was, you know, unbelievable that, I was under so much stress with my cancer treatment. They wanted me to make all these major decisions. And I thought, I'm not equipped to do that at this point. I'm too stressed out. I'm so afraid. And, this is where we have to find ways to be able to calm things down, even if it is in the middle of a very traumatic diagnosis or event in our lives.
I'm just thinking back to the research study that we did and how many of the patients with advanced stage 4 cancer had gut and digestion issues.
It's amazing. And couple that with treatment, chemotherapy, immunotherapy, radiation therapy, all of those wreak havoc on the gut. So I think the spotlight right now should be on this gut brain axis and how do I protect my brain and my gut? And then that in turn, once we protect those things and we think about those things, then we're going to see great benefits for the rest of the body.
I'm going to make a leap here and say if humming, gargling, exercising all helps the vagus nerve do its job better and get this gut brain axis functioning and working the best possible, I am going to make the leap, and I don't know if there are any studies, I didn't look, that laughter is a
Oh,
way to
yes.
do it.
That is a vagus nerve stimulator for sure.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm so happy
Yes.
because I started the Comedy Cures Foundation from my chemo chair and have brought laughter, joy, and play to over 1 million people live. And now with this podcast, we're all global on 6 continents. So to think that I am helping everyone's vagus nerve every time we do a Comedy Cures show with hundreds of comedians or just the silly humor that we integrate here. Look what we're doing. We're helping this.
Yes, it's amazing. And helping, I hear from people all the time, Saranne, about the help they're getting from this podcast. So thank you for all your efforts in putting it together, and thank you for having me a part of it.
Yeah, I love you. I want us all to leave with this image of your gut and your brain holding hands, right? That's what it, yeah, it's just we're getting along. That's what's happening. And we've got to be respectful of both parts of our body and really think of ourselves, as Jacqui said, food first, and really think of ourselves as a whole being and really start focusing on these different areas. And that was the secret to our study. And that was the secret to me being here over 3 decades. So I hope you enjoyed today. I loved it, Jacqui.
Oh, this was great. I mean, I think it's just about paying attention, right?
Yeah.
I mean, we're caught up in a lot of things that distract us from taking care of our body. And really, this is your home, and this is where you want to take the greatest care. And I think that's really important. So I'm excited. Thank you for listening today. This is fun.
Yeah, and be proactive, even if you're on treatment, to know that now you have to even pay more attention and be more focused on your self-care. So, and laugh, because she just told us that it does impact.
It's going to help.
So we're going to go out laughing, Jacqui. Ready?
Yes.
So if you want to learn more about Jacqui Bryan, go to jacquibryan.com. If you can't find her, just go to my website, the Comedy Cures Foundation, comedycures.org. Go to the menu and write to me and let me know how you are taking care of yourself and what you know about this gut brain access and how you are now thinking about it differently. Or go to the podcast section and record a message to us. We love hearing from you. Have a blessed day, and I'll see you tomorrow. If you loved today's episode, then tell the world. Why? Because Beating Cancer Daily is a listener and donor supported experience. So the more people you tell and the more people that join us, the more robust and interesting programs our nonprofit, the Comedy Cures Foundation, can bring to you throughout the year. So if you have some extra change, I'd love you to go to comedycures.org and make a donation today of whatever level is comfortable for you. And it will be tax deductible to the extent allowed by law, because Comedy Cures is a nonprofit 501c3 organization founded from my chemo chair, April 1999, and we've been going strong ever since. So please consider making a donation today and help our community and this podcast thrive. Guess what time it is? It's time for me to read the disclaimer. Beating Cancer Daily and the membership circle are not in lieu of medical advice or treatment. They are for entertainment purposes only. Please consult your healthcare team to review your best strategy. Thanks for listening. See you guys tomorrow.